Not too bad today. How you doing, my beautiful people? Mispronouncing words today, right off the bat, and that is a good introduction. And let me just apologize up front. I am gonna mispronounce so many words and names today. It's going to be insane. The problem here is, no, it's not a problem at all. I promise to just say this is one of my absolute favorite noise recordings of the past few years. And this is when we hit our first mispronunciation. Because the release I'm talking about, and here we go. I believe it's Ontervjabbit. I'll put the name across the bottom there, but you know. I do know that they're from Slovenia, so this may account for it, that, and I am an ignorant American, so. But yes, Ontervjabbit, we'll just go with that for now, in case. Released this tape, it came out last year in 21, definitely one of my favorite, and I know you're like, is that just a huge tape case? Do you have micro hands? Maybe a suggestion, you know what I mean. No, this is actually a dual tape release. And I took them out beforehand because, Grindel declared that crap bourgeois. He was not going to assist me in this. So it is a dual cassette release tape. Beautiful, as you can see on that. Silkscreen in the backs are plain, which I don't know how many of these they made, but I appreciate that. There's something about it that I truly love. And I love the graphic design on this. I think you would have to actually purchase it to get a good look, but it's a very well done interpretation of the Torture Garden. And that's what this album is. It is their musical accompaniment to Octave Mirbeau's infamous novel of the same name, The Torture Garden. And this release was so good and so monumental that I reread The Torture Garden just to make sure I was completely up to date with what was going on within this release. And I'm going to do another review this week, which will be a book review of The Torture Garden, because you can take one from the other, but the experience is heightened so incredibly well that I loved the album when I first listened to it, but rereading Mirbeau's book and then going back and listening to this album again, it adds so much to the experience. And this is my favorite type of noise project, where it does have a basis in either there's an idea that's being explored, there's a literary work being explored, film, whatever, where they're actually working off a theme and building towards it. And Ontervjabbit, it's a duo, and once again, apologies. It's Nevanim Aglma is his name, and once again, cross the bottom because of my screw up. And Domen Usakar. So hopefully I'm getting these close, and I apologize. I keep on apologizing for the mispronunciations, but I scoured the web looking for how to pronounce these names, and yeah, I came up short. The good thing was I did come up across good video snippets of them performing live, or there's a YouTube video. I'll link to all that in the description. I'll probably link to the YouTube at the end of this video, those little end credit things, since YouTube wants to keep everything within their own little walled garden. The walled garden of YouTube and Facebook is shitty compared to the Torture Garden itself. So since I'm going to be doing a book review on the Torture Garden Mirbeau, we won't go too in-depth on that. And once I have that review up, of course, I'll link to that so you can go see it in case you've never read The Torture Garden, which everyone should. I mean, but then again, I have a soft spot for French decadent literature combined with Mirbeau's anarchism. You can't go wrong with the man. But let's get back to, the actual project itself, The Torture Garden. Now, as you can see, these are 2 90-minute tapes. This is how vast this project is. And the list of collaborators is insane. And the collaborators are so good on this. But this is definitely a harsh noise / drone project. You're going to get those frequencies that just, they hit you in the head and they punish you. There's a lot of those growly oscillator distortion that, I love so much. The other great thing about this, though, is it does follow the book. I mean, it goes chapter by chapter, section by section, and it's their interpretation of each one of those chapters. And they've said that they deliberately kept it. They wanted a raw feel to these. So these tracks definitely hit you viscerally, but they're calculated and planned to such an extent that it's just incredible. And if you sit down and listen to 2 90-minute tapes back to back with this material, yeah, it's I wouldn't say a transcendental experience because I don't believe in transcendentalism, but it pulls you into that world. It creates a world and forces you to inhabit it. How many tracks are on this thing? 30 tracks altogether. If you've read the book, it will come as no surprise that one of the standout tracks within this is The Bell, which is central to the Torture Garden itself. So I was a little wary of how that was going to be approached, and I needn't have worried. It is absolutely amazing. Angel of Decomposition and Rot, so good. And this goes all over the place. You're not just getting a single note riff with Ontervjabbit. They're experimenting. They're massaging these tracks. They're using a lot of different source material, and it just comes together. It's just an overwhelming presence. And physically, this tape was just packed when I opened it up. I'll put a picture from when I first received this tape. I was blown away with the amount of stuff that was in there. I'll put that up in the corner. But within, the cassette box, you have, the postcard type thing. Here is a track listing with all the people that were their collaborators, and it echoes the design that's etched into the tapes. I am getting old, so I have started to use reading glasses, and I still struggled with this. I was on their Bandcamp most of the time looking at it. And then, a little photograph of them working on it live. Any type of swag. I'm a sucker for that type of thing, that. But it heightens the experience of receiving physical medium, It gives you something extra to look forward to. And the other thing is, this is the first release from Vile Descent Tapes, which I believe is the 2 individuals involved, created their own label, and it is a first release. Holy mother of puss. This is an amazing release. It's just simply astounding. And the great thing is, it's on Bandcamp. I believe there's more of them left. Because once again, Bandcamp's just doing that. You own this thing, so I'm not sure. But even if there isn't physical editions, you can still listen and purchase a digital edition. But I do believe there's editions of these left in the physical. And as of this review, there's this. And there's another one by Life Cutter, which is the solo project of one of the people involved in here. And I don't want to butcher your name again, so we'll put it right across the bottom there once again. I apologize so much. But it's so good. I mean, I just can't get over how insanely great and overwhelming this release is. At a time, noise seems to come and go in waves, which, that was a sine wave there. But this, to me, is a high watermark. I actually listened to this more than I listened to Pedestrian Deposit, and you know how much I love that last Pedestrian Deposit album. But yeah, if you are a fan of noise in any way, shape, or form, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you get The Torture Garden by Ontervjabbit. And overlook my mispronunciations. Go to the Bandcamp page. Take a listen for yourself. I really think I listen to Noise Extra every week, and I would love to see these two being interviewed on Noise Extra as to what their favorite release is from that time period that Noise Extra covers, which I believe is up to 2000. Not too sure. But yeah, amazing release. If you're looking to take like a sonic journey, or you just want a soundtrack to reading, because I love reading to noise. I don't know what it is. Definitely check out this album and check out the live performances I linked. I mean, these guys have been doing this since, I believe, 2012, and highest recommendation. Amazing piece of work. Anyways, don't want to ramble too long. That and I think there's construction going on outside. There's a lot of Dominican yelling going on, so I don't want to be interrupted here. Love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.